Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas and will enjoy New Year's Eve tonight. So you won't actually be seeing this video until February, so you might be like, well, the heck is she talking about Christmas? But it's actually December 31st. So I thought I'd film this intro now because tomorrow, it will make sense in a minute. Tomorrow I'm going to start a challenge. So you've seen this in February, that's because the challenge is every day of January. So I'm quite an anxious person and I don't really like clutter. That being said, I'm not great at throwing things away. I get guilty, if someone comes around, which is very rare. But I can be like, oh, where's that thing I bought you? And I feel guilty. So I've just kind of over the years learned not to throw things away, including my daughter's art. We have boxes and bags full. And I went through her room before Christmas, and some of the things in there are literally a scribble, and I couldn't bring myself to throw it away. So obviously then we've had Christmas. I have a really large family, so she gets a lot of things from Santa, of course, and it just overwhelmed me. So like my brothers have been to the tip for me, they've like helped break down boxes and stuff like that, but there's still stuff. And some of it now that she's got new things, I know that they're kind of like an older version, like a more grown up version for her than the original, so they kind of need to be gotten rid of. So some of the bigger stuff has gone, like an old kitchen and things like that. But then it got me thinking about all the bits that I don't have anywhere to put. So they're literally in boxes, they're in bags. I mean, I realised I have 4 wooden spoons, and I actually use a silicone spoon. So just things like that. So I was kind of researching ways of motivating myself and actually being able to declutter, because otherwise I will go to declutter and I'll be like, oh, I'll keep that, I couldn't really afford to buy a new one if I decide that I needed it in the end. In reality, some things I've had when I moved into this house, which was 8 years ago this December, and I've not used it. I'm probably not going to use it. So I will link some of the YouTubers and stuff below and some of the Instagrams below that have kind of given me inspiration. And one of the things that some of them had done was, some of these videos are going years back. I went on a proper binge, like a decluttering, sort my life out binge. Is a challenge where each day of a particular month you will declutter something. So for example, January 1st you declutter 1 thing, January 2nd 2 things, January 10th 10 things, 22nd 22 things, 31 things. And it works. I mean, I will make sure for the end video I'll work it out properly, but I know it's like over like 400 things that'll be decluttered, which I have a small house, so that is actually quite a significant amount of stuff, and I think I can clear up quite a few like cupboards and drawers if I actually stick to it. So that's why I'm going to film this intro now, and you won't be seeing it till February, because obviously I will do this every day of January. I didn't quite know how I'm going to film it. I'm not going to film every single day of me, like putting 1 thing in and 2 things in and 3 things in, because it's going to be a lot and you're going to be bored. But I thought that their videos motivated me, so it might motivate you too. Obviously this time of year we accumulate loads of extra stuff, and even just if you're hosting having parties, you'll buy extra like napkins and plates, and then you'll find the ones that you stored away last year, things like that. So I thought this was like kind of a good video to start on this year, next year technically. Yeah, so I will obviously speak again at the end of the video. I will probably just kind of go through a few bits of what I'm decluttering and kind of why you might think a pen lid. That doesn't really count, but it probably will. And there probably will be at least 1 pen lid. So I thought that I would just kind of film some of it. Some bits I will just kind of like speed go through with a bit of music or something, and then kind of just sum up at the end, maybe show you all the boxes and bags or whatever that I managed to declutter. Yeah, so hope you enjoy your New Year's celebrations, whatever it is you're doing. I'm having a movie night, a little game night with my daughter and my little cookie dough. Cookie dough is my Morkie if you're new here. So yeah, have a great New Year, and I will obviously see you in the New Year, in February, which will be a bit late, but still. Yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're already subscribed, then thank you for coming back, and I hope you'll stick with me for 2023. If you're new here, then please subscribe. I'd like to have you be a part of my little family here in the upcoming year. So yeah, I've just got myself an empty box here to start filling things in it, and I will just keep this kind of in the lounge and just carry it around the house with me until it's full. day 11 and I've got some of the most random things ever in here, so I'll just go through it really quick. This thing, I can never change the gas in it, so I always buy a new one. A balloon, we've just kept this because my little one didn't want to get rid of it. I mean, we've been calling it a cat, looks a bit like a cat I suppose, but so good. She's had tons of these little surprise things, so I think some of them can go. These are what we collected from my folks' wedding. They were like they're attached to some party favours, but she won't let me throw them away, but she's never done anything with them, so I'm throwing them. She has rainbow high dolls and they each come with a comb. She's got about 20 dolls, so we have 20 combs. We don't need them. Don't even know what that is. It's dusty. My daughter's a hoarder, so this is like where we welty wax melts. I mean, as you can see, there's all fluff and everything stuck to it. She never wants to get rid of it, but it's going. She probably won't even know. A shell. I don't even know where that's come from. I found it in a cupboard. One of about 10 toothbrushes that she's got, so it's going. A lock. Not a clue what that's from. I mean, it's so tiny. There's not even keys to it, so I can't actually use it as a lock. But I've been keeping it for some random reason. A pen lid. Again, I don't know why. I just find them and then keep them on the side in case I find a pen to go in it, but I never do. So now we're on day 12. I've got to say I filled up the box with like day 1 to 10, so now I'm just using this Aldi bag, and then what I'll do is obviously I will go through and I will I want to keep that. I will go through and I will just sort everything out, like things that can be donated, things that, you know, go in the cardboard recycling, things that go in the plastic recycling and things like that. This was just to group it up because I think that if you try and separate everything as you're going through, it's just going to become a really big task and you're not going to want to do it. Yeah, I'm sorry if I sound like I have a bit of a cold. I do. You may have heard it on the voice like over for yesterday, so yeah. So today you'll probably notice a bit of a theme as I'm going through the house. I'm like making myself pick things in different rooms, so you'll probably notice that like there's a bunch out of the bathroom, a bunch out of the medicine cabinet and things like that, but I can't believe how much I've actually got rid of already. So this is the stuff for day 12. My daughter has so many soft teddies. I keep a bunch of like the really special ones, like her favourites like Minnie Mouse and things like that, but some of them I just keep because I feel like I have to. Like, she doesn't bother with them. I feel like I should because they were like a gift for a baby shower, but we just don't have the room. A book that I've had for about 6 years and I've just not got around to reading. This was a gift for an event that I'd rather forget, so I'm never going to actually use it. And the same goes with this. It's also broken and I've had it for about 2 years. I'm never going to replace the frame, so it's just pointless. I don't even use hairspray. A top, there's one of those tops where it gapes at the front, so you're always pulling it up to like be modest and there's just no point. This is a t-shirt that's just been used as a flannel forever. I know I have flannel, so I don't need to use it. Another random plushie. Super random necklace. I don't know if I've ever worn that. I think this is one of those steppers from like the old ages. I mean, I remember my ex bought me that. And I haven't been with him for about 10 years, so that's old. I don't even know how that would work anymore. A random blusher, as you can see, never been used. I don't know if they go out of date or not. But when I had this, I wasn't vegan then or into cruelty-free stuff. Like, I didn't really understand my impact. So obviously I wouldn't use that now. Random sock that doesn't have a friend. For the next 3 days, day 13, 14 and 15, I'm just going to kind of speedily put them in and film them, rather than explaining one, putting everything in. I just want to give you kind of ideas of things that you can get rid of that you probably don't use, and this is like a guilt-free time. So for example, I had this watch when Cookie Dough was 1. Cookie Dough is my dog if you're new here, so that's a picture of she and I. On the back it says Mommy Love Cookie Dough. I don't remember the last time I wore it. I kept it simply because it's a picture, but as you can see, it's manky, it's got all wet, the picture's damaged inside. So in reality, I'm just keeping it for the sake of keeping it. So it's guilt-free, Cookie Dough won't care, so I'm throwing that away. Same as headbands, my daughter has so many, and she doesn't really keep them in because you know what they're like, they get sore behind your ears. So while she's at school, I'm giving myself permission to throw it away. So just a few ideas. pretty much halfway through our challenge for January. These are everything we've got decluttered for days 1 to 15. So altogether there's 120 items, and I mean there's clothing. You may have seen me put in like random buttons and things like this where I bought new ones like doggy shampoo, but because there was a bit left I didn't want to throw it away. The problem is she goes to the groomer, so I don't bath her that often, but if I do, she gets super muddy or rolls in something gross, then I use the new one. I don't even use that. But if a load of products that I haven't even been through since I became vegan, so that's been 5 years, so these are like 5 years old. So I've got a bunch of those. Random things, massager I got brought that I've had since I moved into this house 8 years ago, not even out the box. Medication that's out of date, just the most random of things. But as you can see, that's cleared up a lot of space still. You know, pyjama bottoms that don't go with anything, I just keep them for spares, but in reality I have enough sets that I always wear the sets. I don't wear these, they may as well go away. The most random soft toys that just don't seem like they take up a lot of room, but when you've got about 20 or 30 of these little things, they do. My advice as well is to declutter when your children aren't home, so you're not left with, like, my daughter would want to keep this, as she has done in the past when I've tried to put it in a donation bin. She takes it out. You know what she does with it? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. She's still addicted to Minnie Mouse toys, Sunny Bunny, Disney dolls, Disney teddies. These, she just keeps them for the sake of it. So do it when your children aren't home. You'll throw things away. I guarantee you she never ever asks about this. You'll have to ignore the carpet a little bit. Been doing obviously 31 things decluttering today, so it's a tad messy. So this entire bag is actually going to fall over, but it's one of these huge Christmas gift bags. Look, the big gigantic ones. So that is absolutely full. I mean, I was keeping things like wrapping paper for next Christmas. I mean, what the heck is that going to wrap? Bag here. One of the big Aldi bags for life, just to carry a black bag because I ran out of like boxes and big bags. And then a whole nother box over here. So all that's left now is to kind of go through and sort all of this out into like recycling stuff and that, which I will literally just do in one day. And we're done. January 31st, sorry for this look, but I just did like decluttering 31 things and then tried to kind of condense everything into one place so that I could kind of show it all to you. I thought it was a bit more impressive to show it all together. It was tiring, it was heavy, I couldn't lift the bags, one broke, a box split, but it's fine, so I'm shattered. But yeah, this challenge has been amazing. So in the end, if you do this on a 31-day month, you will declutter 495 things. I have a small house, so I've decluttered a lot. I have 2 empty cupboards and 1.5 empty drawers now. Plus obviously other things out of places as well, like you know, bits of closet space and stuff like that, and bits of artwork gone. Those are just the places that are like completely done. And there's some cupboards I haven't gone in yet. There's lots of artwork bags I haven't gone in yet, so I will definitely do this again. I'll probably do it again in March, to be fair. I think February is like a shorter month, and now I want to kind of get rid of all of this stuff. But yeah, my aim is kind of try and do this every 3 to 4 months this year, with hope that then by next year, when I come to do a challenge, or maybe even by the end of this year, I won't actually be able to do a full month. I'll like be finished by day 10 because there won't be that much to get rid of. I'm really going for the minimalist lifestyle this year. And my daughters just have a lot of things, so I think that if I can keep the rest of it minimalist, like my medicine cupboard, my closet, my inventory of like candles and wooden spoons and things like that, I think that overall I'll be happier and we'll have a lot more room. With that being said as well, the other thing I would do is, if you have the space, and I would get separated, you know, if you've got like a room you can just keep all this stuff in when you're decluttering, it might be handy to have like a box for recycling, a box for trash, a box for donations. I don't have the room for that, which is why all mine's in one box. So I will then be just taking that day while she's at school to go through it all, donate what I can and take it that day, sort out what can go in like to the tip. I don't know if you have a tip in other countries, but that's basically like a big recycling place. And then just sort out for trash what can go in the trash, so it's all done in that one day. I definitely recommend this if, like me, you're overwhelmed by mess, but you're so overwhelmed that you don't, not even mess, just stuff, and you don't really know where to start, and you can kind of get overwhelmed and anxious by it all, because when you're on like day 10, you don't even really notice, like the time is so fast. Today I listened to one and a little bit of a song, so like literally 4, maybe 5 minutes to do 31 bits of decluttering. So it's so easy to fit into like a super hectic lifestyle. And obviously if you have several family members in your house, then you could all do a bit. You could all take a day challenge, or you could all do it in your rooms as well, which could be like a fun little activity. Yeah, so it's definitely, I definitely recommend doing this, and I recommend doing it guilt free as well. So, you know, get rid of the artwork that you've got 50 lots of, get rid of the photos that you're never going to put on the wall, get rid of that disgusting necklace that some great aunt gave you that is hideous, and you just keep shoving back in your jewelry box because you don't want to wear it, and your kids don't even want, your kids' dolls don't even want to wear it. Throw it away. It's fine. Trust me, you'll feel so much better for it. I feel fresh for some reason. So yeah, it's great, and it was kind of fun to do as well. So comment down below if you've tried this challenge before, or if you're going to try it, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching.